This is my first speech, and as you know, it's called the Icebreaker. And the Icebreaker is meant to talk a little bit about yourself. And I said to myself, how can I make it interesting for everybody so that, they can associate with my speech, with my life. So I said, let me share a little bit about myself, about my life lessons and how I teach life lessons to my kids. So if you're in my house and you hear the word life lesson, my kids will laugh because every opportunity I can, I say, this is a life lesson opportunity. And my kids are like, no, not again, not another life lesson. So I can go on and on about life lessons because I have tons of them, but I'm going to share 3 with you. The first one is, we live in a life where kids have a lot, right? And some kids have more than others. So my kids are constantly struggling with the fact that, he has this, I don't have this, he has that. So I'm constantly telling them, appreciate and be happy with what you have. It's not bad to want more, right? But be happy with what you have. And it goes back to a story when I was young, and my kids have heard this story tons of times. I'm a Cuban immigrant, right? I was born in Cuba, and during communism, when Castro took over, one Friday, someone knocked on our door, and we lived in a big house, and my family was well off down in Cuba. We owned a bodega, as they call them. And, we were somewhat affluent. We had a big house. So on a Friday, we had a knock on the door. And I was small. I don't remember the story, but my father's told me tons of times.
Huh.
So it was a lieutenant from the Army, right? And the lieutenant said, on Monday, this house is going to be used for an office. And you have to vacate the house. And the house that we probably lived in 3 generations, we lost over a weekend. So that Saturday, my dad said, this is now for us. We're moving to the United States. And that Sunday, we were on a plane here to the United States. So having a lot and then having nothing, because we came to this country with nothing. And for years, we were very poor and, we struggled. So I always tell that lesson to my kids, appreciate what you have. Because when you don't have it, it's hard, but as long as you have love in your house, and you have the love of your parents in a positive environment, you don't really feel the loss. That was life lesson number 1. Life lesson number 2: learn to work as part of a team, right? In this day with everybody texting and being on the phone and the computer, it's really hard to make that one-to-one, association with one another. So I think it's really important when your kids are small, push them to work to be on a team. My kids didn't want to do anything when they were little, and I said, you know what? You don't have a choice. You have to try one sport. It doesn't matter what it is, but you have to try it. And then, if you don't like it the second year, fine, you don't have to be part of it, but you have to try one sport at a time. So my kids, I started out in baseball because I love baseball, and when I was young, we moved here, we had nothing. I joined Little League, and we didn't have any friends, but automatically, joining Little League, boom, you have 16 friends, all those kids on your team are your friends. So that's one thing that I think is great with sports. Automatically, you have friends because they're just on your team. And then sports teaches you, to win, to lose, to, the value of practicing, and the harder you practice, the better you do, the more you succeed in life, right? So the more you practice at something, the more you succeed. Another lesson that comes along with being in sports. So learn to work part of a team, learn to be part of a team, go into sports. Life lesson number 3: take chances. Whether you succeed or not in life, it's the opportunities that you don't pursue that you end up regretting. That's another big lesson I try and teach my kids because they're always scared. My kids were a little shy when they were growing up. They're not shy anymore. But now, by the way, how many people have kids? And how many people have teenagers? Yeah, 2? Okay. So I have 2 kids, a 13-year-old and a 18-year-old who just started college. So we've been through that progression from small to big. So take chances. In my life, I've always tried to take chances, and show my kids that whether you succeed or you fail, as long as you take a chance, that's the important part. I wanted to own real estate when it was always a dream of mine to own real estate. I invested in real estate. which, we were pretty successful at. We don't own any real estate now because of the bubble, but when the bubble was up, we owned a bunch of real estate. We were successful at that. However, I had the bright idea of opening 2 Subway franchises, the sandwich shops. So I was working here, I owned 2 Subway franchises. And one was successful, the other one was not successful. And my wife will tell you, don't get any more bright ideas because I'm not going to go along with them. But so it was that failure, even though that one of the, we succeeded, but we had one failure, it was the trying that I really appreciate, because you learn from your mistakes, so you shouldn't be afraid to try. Always try. I always tell my kids, try. If you fail, but you get back up, it teaches you a lesson. So in summary, the person I am today reflects the lessons that I teach my kids. Appreciate it, be happy with what you have. Learn to work as part of a team, and take chances. Don't be afraid not to take chances. Thank you very much.